Hello and welcome to Odessa. This is Dresden's Tale, episode 11. This is the story where we follow the adventures of the young dwarf, Dresden Fane, as he gets his career started. Right now he's in the desert plain of Odessa. He's been there about 2.5 months. It is now the middle of Rudy. Summer is at its peak, although as far as Odessa is concerned, things are pretty stable. Every day is summer in Odessa. It's one of the things Dresden's not particularly happy about. Too much sand, too much dirt, too much sun. Now, truth be told, he's had a pretty active time here. He joined a wagon train off to Orlocks Cove. Got into some fights that direction, then headed back to Jingendale, and now he's headed north. He's arrived at his destination among the Jungo peoples. They're natives of Odessa who converted quickly to the Keld religion and helped in the war against the Hessians. Chapter 10 has a little bit different feel to it than most chapters, a little change of pace. It's a letter that Dresden has sent home to his papa, to his grandfather back in Parnsilia. There is something of a mail service among the clans. It's primarily handled by the Moradin clan, as they have early established a tradition of horsemanship. Their average clan member tends to be a little bit more mobile, and they decided that was a niche that they were going to fill, that they were going to be a courier service for the clans. With the relatively small population and things kind of organized into houses and the clans themselves, various institutions, the mail is fairly efficient. This particular letter would almost certainly be addressed to the House of Nanok, and Dresden would trust the executor there to then deliver it on to his grandfather. Now, Dresden is literate. Most Keld warriors certainly are. Probably most Kelds in general can read and write. There's a universal language that around the different clans. This developed from the language that in Patronsburg. Now there is occasionally you'll hear reference to Old Keld, language that let's call it New Keld for the sake of discussion, evolved from. I'd say a good way to look at how Old Keld is used in the new language, and New Keld is to think about how Latin is used in modern day English. Everybody knows a phrase or two, but that's about it. So, with all that said, this is chapter 10. It is the 13th day of Rudy. It is 2051 years after the fall. Papa, I find myself in the town of Jungo Miernis. It's a dirty place with a sense of rampant desperation. The buildings are barely more than stacked mud and thatched with grass. The industry of the place is digging deeper wells. I don't fit in here, but I sit quietly and listen to the veterans. The ideas of sinful bullying and the privilege of strength seem muddled to these men. This morning, I told Baril to get his own water just to see what he'd do. What he did was nearly kill me, so I got his water. Perhaps the bludgeoning did some good, though. He has not asked me to perform a petty chore since. Instead, I've moved up to tending his horse. I miss home, as my optimism of the journey is gone. On my first night here, I was assaulted for nothing more than talking to the wrong woman. It's proven to me over and over again that you're wise in advising me to avoid them at all costs. A human named Gain leads us. I've never seen his like, tall like a Gaelic, but otherwise built like a Geldon. His nose is too big for his face, and his skin is light brown. He's likable enough. Maybe I'll just ask his heritage, should we stand watch one night together. He's a priest of Cloyce, here to lead us in this mission to bring the local tribes closer to the clans. The terrain is rugged here, Papa. We followed no trail, but instead tracked our way by a river that was nothing more than a snaking line of dust in a ditch. It was said the way was once marked the western extent of the old Hessian states. We saw little sign of the defeated heretics, nothing more than the occasional abandoned building, so dilapidated we generally could not identify what purpose they once served. There are so few places to find water. Anything trying to live out here that is not native would soon die of thirst. An acolyte of Omidon, a sleet-furred Tagara born from Manelia named Panatides, says the excessive droughts are caused by angry spirits. The unnatural beings controlled the weather at the behest of the heretic gods back when the Hessians reigned. Now the spirits strike out for lack of direction. I have heard teams of spirit hunters are tracking the evil manifestations, but I haven't seen anything to prove it. Among the warriors there are many stories. I cannot always tell which are true and which are lies. I've heard many tales of monsters whose bodies are living rock and terrible centipedes stretching not in inches but in tens of feet. You've never seen a Tagara like Panatides. He's black-furred like a Seville, but it's thicker and dotted with flecks of white like someone covered him in salt. He's fast and strongly built, both at the same time. He's one of the veterans, but not quick to be just another one shouting orders. I've made a few friends on Odessa, Papa. It seems as quick as I meet someone, we're separated into new units and missions. I complained of my fears of standing watch or being stuck in a shop, but I've gotten just the opposite. To the coast, back from the coast, now to the north. Could it be they've given me permanent duty as a caravan guard? I would not relish that life, except I've gotten to see a great deal of the country, nasty as it is. For friends, I'd say the Equerda Donald may be one. He's a Tianist with a common enough name so that no one will ever remember him. He's content enough about that. A priest of Renia, happy to scour the plains, saving one heretic at a time. Drael is another good man, a Saurian warrior, another one to tower above me. We fought side by side against beastly-looking mongrel men, but we were separated in Jingendale. Now I find myself plagued by a talkative pterodon named Ralph. He is determined to follow me about and be my friend. I suppose he's decent enough, but he has a habit of snatching up living things and shoving them into his mouth, eating them whole. At least this one is only twice my height. There are more, but I'm not fond of the idea I may have to take up so much time with them on my return home. Perhaps we could carouse on some feast days, but that's all the socializing a dwarf should need. I'm certain it would be all that I have time for. Being away from the city for a season will leave a whole new list of projects for Master Nanok expecting me to get done. None of this is like the theater. Last night, another man told me I was a fool for not wanting to waste time educating the rest of these godless Hessians. He said it was heresy to pass up even one possible convert. The accusation quickly led to a brawl within the tavern. My jaw still hurts, but I gave as good as I got. Perhaps the morning will see us returning home. It seems to be my fate to travel to and fro and never have a chance to see what places I've come to. I only wish to sit beside the bay, enjoy the cool evening breeze, and listen to familiar sounds. To have my ears filled with the roaring of the falls would indeed be a valuable prize. Rest assured, no matter how bad your summer, it's nothing like this burning place. Don't worry about me. I've survived several battles, but nothing more than mummies and wild dogs. I doubt I'll see any more real action. Even when attacked, it's useless. Our last day before entering Jungo territory, a host of iguana men attacked us for our water. Before I could land a blow, every one of them was slain by the warriors I travel with. Dresden Fane, Militia of Biona, Stone Clan. So there you have Dresden, a little synopsis to his grandfather of the adventures he's had so far. You can see his influence from being a fan of the theater. He loves big words and likes to make things sound as dramatic as possible. And it gives us a little insight that maybe he's not as grumpy and downtrodden as he always seems on the outside. And now we come to the part of the video where I ask you to do the stuff. If you could hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. If there's something that you didn't like, then hit the unlike button, the thumbs down. I'd very much like to hear your comments. You can put them at the bottom of the video, or you can come visit me on Twitter. There's also Patreon for anybody that wants to support a little extra. None of that is required, of course. I will keep putting up videos, keep telling my story here. I appreciate that you've taken a little bit of time to come see me, and I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day.